Hey guys, Andy Kamation with Bendmak USA. Want to introduce you to our CY4R series of full roll plate rolls here at FabTech 2021. This particular machine that we're looking at right here is our CY4R, and it is a 6 foot by 5/16 capacity machine. It's actually our model 190-2008. And that gives us the capability of 6 foot by 5/16 maximum thickness working and 1/4 inch pre-bend. So 1/4 inch material can be pre-bent on this machine, but up to 5/16 can be rolled. So if you're rolling stainless steel, it might be a little bit less capacity. If you're rolling aluminum, it's going to be quite a bit more. But in general, we rate these machines on A36, our general hot rolled steel, and it's a 1/4 inch by 6 foot machine. So the 4-roll machine is the flagship machine for Bendmak. It's really gives us the most capability and the most versatility in a machine with the minimum amount of setup or setup interruption. So sometimes these machines are called a double pinch machine, but a 4-roll machine is a machine that can take a piece of material in one setup, can be clamped, and then can go from that clamp position to right into rolling. So unlike the initial pinch machines that require one setup for pre-bending, and then the material must be removed around to the other side and pre-bent again before rolling can operate, with the 4-roll machine we utilize the rolls on both sides of the machine to initiate that pre-bending. And those rolls allow us to pre-bend the leading edge as well as the trailing edge of the material. I'll give you a real quick example on how this machine operates. So the CY4R controller, this is our base controller. We do have two options above this base controller. We go to an NC controller, which allows us to teach the machine positions to move to and then repeat those positions. And then we provide also a CNC controller for just a little bit more than the NC controller, and that CNC controller can do many more functions as well as roll material that's out of round, oval shapes, radiuses that vary from a small radius to a large radius to a flat back to another radius. So material shapes that you might see, such as fuel truck tanks and things like that, would be ideal for the CNC control on the CY4R series. So the operation on this machine is fairly simple. We're going to power on the hydraulics as we've done here. Any alarms that we might have, such as an emergency stop, we just need to clear that alarm, hit the reset, and clear that alarm out of our control, and we can go back and power the machine back on. So this control panel's got a couple of options on it, or switches for options that we can add to the machine later on. One of those options you'll see is a overhead support. So on this machine, we order every machine to have in stock with the capability of adding the overhead support right in the field. So if you find yourself later on needing that capability, we can just simply order that overhead support and plug it right into the hydraulics, and you're good to go. You've got an overhead support. What an overhead support does is, while we're rolling material that's large and goes high up into the air, the weight of that material may actually fold itself back down, where an overhead support can hold that material up while it's raised up into the air and allow us to complete the bending cycle without that weight of material folding itself back down. Another option that we're going to see on the machine is the option for side supports, and these side supports will give us the ability for longer sheets of material to give us a feeding table that would feed right into the rolling position and allow us to roll. And these tables have rollers on them that would support that material as it feeds into the machine. And then if we're rolling large diameters, they have the ability to come up and provide side support for that larger material. Those again are options. On this machine, they mount in a variety of different ways depending on the size of the machine. They might mount on the sides of the frame. On this particular machine, it's a smaller machine. It's going to mount right down to the bottom, and of course, you see our hydraulic outlets there. So those can be added anytime. Very simple addition to the machine. Plug right into the frame, bolt right onto the frame, and then the hydraulics right on, and plug right in, and then we have the controllability for that right here. Another feature of the machine is the end support, or which is standard on all the machines, but the ability to remove material when we are done with the rolling cycle. We want to be able to remove the material, and that is that support right there. Let me show you a couple of things about operating the machine to start off with. And we are going to first lower the pinch roll. So this bottom roll is called our pinching roll, and our top roll. And these two, once we have our material in the machine, they're going to remain pinched. And what's great about a 4-roll machine is that once the material is pinched, it stays clamped together in the machine. Very little chance of slippage on the machine. This particular machine has a 7.5-inch diameter top roll, a 6.7-inch diameter bottom roll, and a 5.9-inch diameter side roll. Of course, there's 2 side rolls. It's a 5.5 horsepower hydraulic machine. So unlike the initial pinch series machines, now we have hydraulic driven machines, and of course this is available in a wide variety of sizes and variety of options. This particular 1/4-inch by 6-foot machine weighs 7,600 pounds, and let's show a quick operation of it. Okay, to operate the CY4R, the first thing we want to do is we want to bring that bottom roll up into pinching position, and I'm going to move that bottom roll up, and I'm going to bring it up into pinching position, and I'm going to look at my gauge over on the far right. I'll show you that gauge here. As I bring that roll into pinching position, it's going to lock that material in place. Now, my material may be through the rolls. Typically it's through the rolls, and I'm going to bring before I pinch, I'm going to bring the side roll up on the machine, and as I bring that side roll up, you can see it move there. And I'm going to bring that side roll all the way up to the pinch point position between those 2 rolls, and I'm going to use that roll as a squaring arm. So my material will come into the machine, feed in, and I'm going to square it against that back roll. Once I've done that, I'm going to drop that roll back down into a position that's going to allow me to pre-bend the material. I'll then feed the material into the machine just to a position that I'm on top of that bending roll, and move that bending roll back up to a preset position. And here you can see the digital readout positions of that for a pre-bend. Once I've pre-bent that material, I'll back that roll back off into my rolling position and start rolling. So as I roll my plate through the machine, I want to stop and check it with a radius gauge, make sure that I've got the right diameter coming out, or right radius coming out, and adjusting my position of the roller, of the bending roller accordingly. Once I get all the way around the material to the position I want to be in for diameter, I get to the back of the material, the trailing edge of the sheet. I want to drop down the front roll, and now I'm going to pre-bend the back roll and be able to do that in the same setup. So this is going to allow me to pre-bend that back edge, and really this is the great advantage of the 4-roll machine. You don't have to take the material out and turn it around in order to get both ends of the material bent up for your part. I'm going to go ahead and complete the bending cycle. Once I've rolled my cylinder into the shape that I want, I'll back the rolls back down, I'll drop my pinching roll back down. And once I get it to the bottom, I can then release the end support. And of course, the upper roll raise up automatically to allow me to easily remove that cylinder. And that's your CY4R series, the 4-roll from Bendmak.